Hi there. Today, in my first video for the channel, I'm going to show you how you can anonymously and securely create and then memorize the 12-word secret phrase used by crypto wallets. No more need for writing things down on bits of paper that you'll only lose anyway, and no need to have the wallet stored locally on your machine, or in fact anywhere, except in your head. I'm going to teach you 2 techniques for anonymously creating the wallet, and then how to memorize the 12-word secret phrase using techniques employed by world memory champions. And finally, I'll show you how to recreate the wallet whenever you need it. My name's Peter Dove, and I've been a geek and programmer since the release of the ZX81 when I was just 11 years old. In this channel, we'll cover tons of tech, productivity techniques, and programming tips. Let's get started. The first method I want to show you for securely and anonymously creating a wallet is KasmWeb.com. Now, KasmWeb is a paid service, though it is only $5 a month. I'm not actually being paid to promote them in any way, it's just a service that I use. Essentially, it's virtual containers in the cloud that are destroyed after each use, offering zero trust security and ultimate privacy. Using Kasm is like throwing your laptop away after each use and using a different internet connection each time. So this makes it incredibly difficult for anyone to track your online activities or compromise your wallet. So I'm already logged into my session and we're going to go to Chrome. First thing we're going to do is actually go to the Chrome extensions where we're going to search for MetaMask. Click on MetaMask, install it to Chrome, add the extension. We have to agree to the terms of use and we can say create a new wallet. Now you can create a password, but it's only relevant on this device, so it doesn't really matter initially because this whole device session is going to be destroyed. Create the wallet, and this is where we get the phrase from. It says, what is a secret recovery phrase? And it's a 12-word phrase that is the master key to your wallet and funds. So we're going to click Secure My Wallet, and it asks you to write down your recovery phrase. So we click on it, and these are the 12 words in the order presented. Now you might want to write these down on little bits of paper or screenshot this, but eventually you'll want to delete it, because of course the aim of this is that we'll have memorized it all. It's crucial to keep this phrase safe and private, as anyone with access to it can control your wallet. If you've written it down, you should be able to pass the confirmation fairly easily. Once you've confirmed the phrase, the wallet is created. Now that we've got the seed phrase, this part of the setup is complete and we can actually just kill the entire session and no one will know we were ever there. This is one of the key advantages of using KasmWeb, the ability to completely erase your digital footprint after each session. Now with KasmWeb, it's not only browsers you can use, but you can actually fire up complete desktops like Ubuntu and development environments like Visual Studio Code, etc., all anonymous. This versatility makes KasmWeb a powerful tool for various online activities beyond just crypto wallet management, all the while keeping a high level of privacy and security. Your second method is using something called Tails OS. You essentially install it to a USB drive, insert that into your computer, and boot into Tails. There's full documentation on how to install Tails, and I'm going to show you what it looks like set up in a virtual machine. In general, it's not recommended to use a virtual machine for Tails because these could leave fingerprints on your host operating system. It's best to boot directly from the USB stick. The reason I'm using a virtual machine is it's much easier to do the screen capture for you. So here we are in the virtual machine hosting Tails. Now once you boot up, You're presented with a choice, and you can choose to connect to Tor automatically. The Tor network is like a secret underground tunnel system for the internet. When you use Tor, instead of your internet traffic going straight from your computer to the website you're visiting, it takes a roundabout path through several relay computers around the world. Each relay only knows the step before and after it, so no single point can see the whole journey. It's like passing a secret note through a crowd where each person only knows who gave them the note and who they're passing it to, but not the original sender or the final recipient. This makes it really hard for anyone to track what you're doing or figure out who you are. People use Tor for privacy, to access websites that might be blocked in their country, or to communicate secretly in places where free speech is limited. So we're going to go with Connect to Tor automatically. Perfect. Connected to Tor. And now you can browse the internet anonymously and uncensored. Now we're not going to use the browser in this case. We're going to use a piece of software called Electrum, and that's under Applications, Internet, and Electrum Bitcoin Wallet. This is just a warning to you that persistence is disabled. When you reboot Tails, all of Electrum's data will be lost, including your Bitcoin wallet. But that's okay, because we're going to memorize it. We can accept all the defaults here. We're going to go with the default, create a seed, and there you have it, your passphrase 12 words. We'll actually be memorizing the words for the MetaMask wallet, so no need to write these down. I'm just showing you how it works. And then we'll go next. It's actually really useful to type it all back in. And any password you like, it doesn't matter. This is all being destroyed anyway. That's it. That's all you need to do. What matters is you have the phrase. That's the important part. Now we're going to shut this down and everything will be destroyed. If you're interested in learning more about Tails OS, then leave a comment below and I'll do a video in more detail. So now we're at the phase of memorizing the 12 words. This is probably the longest part of the video, and we're going to use a system called memory palaces. Memory palaces are used by world memory champions for crazy things like memorizing hundreds of randomly shuffled playing cards with no mistakes, random numbers, all that kind of stuff. It works very well with the human brain. Memory palaces tap into our spatial memory, which is incredibly strong. Our ancestors needed to remember where food sources were, where predators lived, and how to navigate back home. So this system leverages that innate ability to associate information with physical locations. Now, I've built memory palaces into Mindraise, so we're actually going to go ahead and log in to mindraise.io. Let's ask the virtual assistant, what is a memory palace? A memory palace, also known as the method of Loci, is a powerful mnemonic technique that leverages spatial memory to enhance recall. To create a memory palace, you mentally walk through your chosen location, placing vivid, memorable images that represent the information you want to remember at specific points. The more bizarre or emotionally charged these images are, the easier they are to recall later. Let's go ahead and head on over to memory palaces. Now, I've already gone ahead and created a memory palace name. I'm not going to bore you with my own memory palaces, giving away lots of personal information, so instead we're going to create an imaginary one, which we'll do now. Okay, so we're going to remember the MetaMask words. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take 2 words per location. So we're going to have 6 locations, and we're going to try and arrange the words so that we know which one comes first and which one comes second. You can often do that by having the first word as the main actor and the second word having something happen to it. You'll get what I mean when we come to it. Now, what we're going to do is this. We're going to add a new station. Now, some people call locations stations, and some people call them locations. I'm going to change the app to refer to them as locations rather than stations. But anyway, our imaginary location is a mouse home. And for the first location in the mouse home is a mouse hole. So we're going to say mouse hole. We'll give it a description if we like. The story is actually what you're going to use to associate the fact with the actual description itself. So sometimes it's useful to put a description. A mouse hole with a mouse looking out. So then the fact we need to memorize is the first two words, and that is woman and curtain. Now it's your job to actually associate these two words with this particular location. There's lots of ways you can associate words with locations. The fact or the word is similar to the actual shape of the location, or a texture at the location, or an object at the location. Now, built into MindRaise, you can actually hit Generate Story, and the AI will attempt to create something itself. So this one says, the image of a mouse hole with a curious mouse looking out is connected to the woman curtain through a comical scene. As the woman drew back the curtain in her home, she was startled to find a mischievous mouse peeking through a tiny hole in the wall, leading to a hilarious chase around the room. So that's pretty good. We'll have the woman first drawing back the curtain, seeing a massive mouse hole with the mouse looking out, and the mouse being quite large, and the woman shrieks and runs off, and the mouse chases. So often it's quite useful, whatever location you're using, like your home or so on, is to go around taking pictures of each location, because when it comes to memorization, it actually helps you to have the photograph in front of you, what the location looks like, and then associate the words or the fact with it. Okay, so that's the first one. This is going to be quite easy. With MindRaise, you can set yourself some questions and answers which the AI will test you on later. Okay, let's add another location, and this one's going to be a little mouse desk. So we actually would go in through the mouse hole, and on the right hand side there's a desk that the mouse uses. It's often useful to choose a particular path through the room that you're using as a series of locations. You know, if it's your bedroom, you turn right, you have a desk, and then a bed, and so on. Use this method for all your locations. You go in, you turn right, and walk your way around back to the entrance again. Anyway, so mouse desk. Let's get a photograph for this. There we are, a little desk. Perfect. So we'll say this is a desk with a mirror and candle. Okay, so we're going to add our fact in, and our fact is the next two words, afraid and tumble. So, desk with a mirror and candle represents a moment when I was afraid of stumbling in the dark. The flickering candlelight reflected in the mirror, casting eerie shadows that made me feel like I was about to tumble at any moment. Okay, so we'll walk in and we see the desk and it's quite dark in there. The candle's flickering away and we're afraid of the dark, and then we trip over the chair that the mouse has sat on and take a tumble. Okay, so afraid and tumble. Great, let's save that. What's next? So there's a little desk, and then next to it there's a little mouse sleeping in its bed. Let's do that. Okay, let's get the photograph. The photo will help us come up with a good association. Now, the next two words from the crypto wallet are digital and toward. Oh, this will be interesting. Digital and toward. So a mouse sleeping on a tiny bed. Okay, now I've got it. Let's see what the AI comes up with as a story. Actually, I'm going to do a little story of my own here now. And as I walk around to the bed, I notice that the mouse's tail is connected to a digital screen, and there's loads of code on the screen, which the mouse's tail is creating. And as the tail twitches, it fires off two wards, like magical spell kind of wards, that appear up in front of its bed, which prevent me from getting close to it. Yeah, that'll do for me. Digital to ward. We'll see how good that is when we get to remembering. Remember, you can pause this video and make up your own stories as well. Good, we're going to have another one. So there's the bed, and then we walk around and there's a cooker. I have a little file for that. A mouse cooking with tiny pots and pans. The fact is final and book. Let's see what happens if we generate a story. Okay, so none of these are that good. Let's see if I can think of one. Final and book. Okay, so I'm going to imagine that the mouse massively turning up the heat in a final attempt to cook the book, which is in the pan. I can imagine the mouse getting frustrated, something isn't cooking properly, so final solution is to turn up the heat and attempt to cook it. The mouse opens the lid and inside one of the pans is a book. The mouse is attempting to cook the book. Okay, let's save that. Good, let's go on to the next one. We're almost there. So there's the cooker, and then we're going around to the corner of the room, and in there's a huge chest of cheese. Okay, so let's get a photograph of that. And we have to memorize the words ahead and close. I'm going to imagine them going up to the chest of cheese and sort of opening it up, and inside there's a head eating the cheese, and the mouse is so scared it closes the lid really fast. Okay, that's good. And one more, the final two words. Okay, so this one is a family portrait of mice. And the two words we have to remember are Carrie and Luna. Right, that'll be interesting. A portrait hanging on the wall of a family of mice. As you pass the portrait hanging on the wall of two family of mice, the mice seem to be carrying miniature moons in their paws. Yeah, that's quite good. All holding little mini moons, and these moons are literally shiny, and the shine is coming off out of the portrait, lighting up the room, each of them holding mini moons. And one of them looks like a lunatic and keeps leaping around in the frame, and that's how I can kind of get Luna, and that should be good enough. What we can do now is go through and test ourselves on this. So we can do a location test. So we go there, and there's the mouse hole. Yep, perfect. With the mouse looking out. Then we go to the right, and there's a dresser with a candle on it and a mirror. Yep, perfect. Then we've got the bed with the mouse sleeping in it. And then we've got the cooker with the little tiny pots and pans. Perfect. And then we've got the chest of cheese. And finally, the portrait. Okay, so we've checked that we've got the right sequence of locations. Now we can do a fact test. Okay, so we've got the location we go in, and it's a mouse hole. So this is really easy. So we have the woman drawing back the curtain and then getting chased around. So it's woman and curtain. And then we can check that. Woman, curtain, fantastic. The next one is desk with the light, and it's dark and makes me afraid, and I tumble over a chair. So afraid and tumble. Brilliant. I hope you're following along and trying to memorize this, and feel free to pause the video before I expand and see if you can get it as well. Then we have a bed. Okay, so this is digital and toward. So the mouse's tail is like connected to the computer and lots of digital stuff happening, and two magical wards appear as I approach, keeping me away. Is that right? Digital and toward. Perfect. Oh, the little cooking thing. Oh, that's easy. So the mouse is frustrated, trying to cook something. It's not cooking. So its final solution is to turn up the heat massively, and it lifts the lid off, and there's a book. So that should be final and book. Yep. By the way, I'm doing this without notes and without any previous practice at this, but I'm kind of used to creating memory palaces. I've created memory palaces for thousands of chess moves and opening books. There's all kinds of information you can store easily. So the next one, we have the chest of cheese. Okay, so this is actually quite easy. Mouse opens the chest of cheese. There's a head munching away, and a head as in Head, and close because he closes it straight away. You might want to add something else to make sure you remember it's a head, like a road sign into the image if it helps. Anyway, the final one is the portraits. Okay, so they're all holding in their hands. They're all carrying, so carry. Um, One of the interesting things about going through the list that you've created is you often come across weak associations that sometimes you're not really happy with. So I'm going to imagine that they're all holding carrier bags, which actually has a moon in it. In the UK, a carrier bag is something you buy in shops to put your groceries in. So I'm just going to have them holding carrier bags with a huge moon in there, and there's a couple of them acting like a lunatic. So Luna. So carry and Luna. That's great. So we've got them all in the correct order. Now, using this software, you can actually go through all the different questions and answers, which are essentially flashcards, and you can set those up, or you can get the software to randomly select questions to test yourself on. So it's a great way for studying for exams and so on. These techniques are not only useful for memorizing crypto phrases, but can be used to memorize all kinds of information. So we are almost there, and we're now going to look at how you can reinstantiate your wallet just through your memory. We're going to go straight into Chasm Chrome browser, and we're going to get us MetaMask, add it to Chrome, add the extension, nice and easy. So now this is going to be different from what we did before. We're going to import an existing wallet instead. And here you are. It's asking you to provide them with the secret recovery phrase. So we have the 12-word phrase, or do we? Let's try it out. Follow along and see if you can remember too. So we have the mouse hole as the first location. Oh yeah, so there's a woman who pulls back a curtain. You can unhide them just to make sure you spell them correctly. And they're all lowercase as well, so they're nothing to worry about. So next we have the mouse desk with a candle on it. So I'm afraid of the dark. And then I take a tumble. So afraid and tumble. The bed, the mouse has got its tail into the computer doing all kinds of digital stuff. And toward, the two wards. The mouse is cooking, and its final attempt to cook turns up the heat massively, opens the lid, and it's a book. So excellent. Final and book. Then you've got the cheese, chest. That's a head. And the mouse quickly closes the lid. So ahead and close. And then we've got the portrait. Okay, and now that I've improved it with the carrier bag, I get that it's carry. And some are acting like lunatics, so it reminds me of the word lunar. Perfect. And it worked. Import my wallet. Wallet successful. Fantastic. Okay. We are now here back in Tails. So we're just going to go ahead and connect. And now we're just going to go to Applications, Internet, Electrum Wallet. And we didn't do the memorization for the Electrum Wallet, but I just wanted to show you that you can actually go ahead and recreate the wallet whenever you need it. So we just hit Next, and you can choose the standard wallet. And I already have a seed. Hit Next, and you can just go ahead and type in your phrase here. In fact, let me get the phrase I already had. There it is. And we can type it in. It's not letting me hit next. So did I miss something? Average chase, source, defy, half. Okay, half damage. There we are. some password. That doesn't matter because we're not keeping it. And your wallet's created. So I hope that was helpful. This is my first video for this channel and I'd love for you to join me on this journey. We're currently in beta phase and we're looking for beta testers to help shape the future of Mindraise. By signing up, you'll get free lifetime access to the platform, excluding AI fees, priority support, and the opportunity to earn commission through our affiliate program. Plus, the first 100 signups will receive a private Zoom call with me. Click the link in the description below to secure your spot now and be part of something amazing. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want to know more about Tails OS or if you have any other questions. See you next time.